I'm Amy Mclaughlin. I'm from Mayfield, Dalkeith, and I'm 11 years old.
Hi Amy. So how would you describe your life with tinnitus?
Well, tinnitus is like a ringing, a high pitch. I get high pitched ringing in my ear, and it's constantly normally there, and it sounds a bit like this. So I constantly normally get that in my ear, and it's kind of a bit distracting, and I get a bit frustrated, and I get stressed, and I feel a bit lonely, because normally whoever I meet, I'm normally the only person with it, so if I have it, I'm kind of like, no one knows what I'm really going through.
So what's been the hardest thing about having tinnitus?
Probably actually going through it, because it's easy for you to say, oh, you have tinnitus, but like once you actually go through it, you're kind of like, I have tinnitus, and it's constantly there, and it's annoying, and it's just having to cope with it and try to do my work at school. It's just can't.
So do you think feel you missed out on anything because of your tinnitus?
Yeah, like I can't normally always go to the cinema or concerts because of the noise with my ears, and also my tinnitus normally plays up. So I'd rather not do it than have the aftermath when I'm normally like ill and I just don't feel like best. Because I'd rather miss like a wee concert or like a movie than feeling really bad after.
So how does it impact on your school work and school life?
Well, when I'm normally at school, if I get it, I get really like frustrated again, and I can't concentrate a lot, because when I'm trying to do my work, it's constantly there, and then when I'm trying to speak, and then I just lose my words because I know that there's like a ringing in my ear, and I'm like, I'm sorry, someone's coming in my ear, but then I'm trying to get my words out, and it just doesn't work.
So how have you learnt to manage your tinnitus?
Well, I've got a couple of strategies. I've got like my tinnitus jar, and if I have my tinnitus, I get one. So I would shake it first, and then I'd pick one out, and they're all colour coded. And then I would open it up, and it would be like, this one says go for a walk. So then I would kind of do it and see if it distracts me, just like a wee distraction for my tinnitus. And then if I get like really stressed out, I have like my wee just like stress ball, quite simple, just a bit decorated. And then I have my book, and it's about like how I feel, and it's about what's going on, and I write down on a piece of paper. So I look for it, and then I write down on the piece of paper, and it's kind of like maybe what's happened, so I want to like reflect on how I could have dealt with it better, or just to see what's happened.
So have people around you, your friends, your family, teachers, organisations, have they been understanding and supportive to you?
Yeah, they have, because normally I need a little break if I have my tinnitus, because it just gets too much. So I'm normally like, can I take a break? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, instead of being like, no, you have to stay in the class, or no, you can't go take a wee break in your room. They're quite understanding about how I feel and how other things could affect me. So they always plan like what we could do instead of this affecting me.
Do you think there needs to be more awareness about how the condition can have an impact on children and young people?
Yeah, because a lot of people think it's just for older people, but really it's not, because you can look at groups, and then you can go to groups, and there'll maybe be a couple of older people there, but I bet you a lot of the children have got tinnitus but just don't know it. So I think it's better if we spread awareness so they can catch it earlier, and then they can deal with it better.
So do you have any advice for other children and young people who may be struggling with their tinnitus?
Just like try and cope with it, and just not let it really take over your life, because if you let it take over your life, then it just doesn't get better. And try and always make up your new strategies, try and do stuff that won't affect it, and just try and plan, if you do get tinnitus and you're out, what you could do, like to see what helps you.
Why do you think it's important to support Tinnitus Awareness Week and the British Tinnitus Association?
I think it's quite important, because you want to spread awareness about tinnitus and how about it, how like you can go to different groups for it. And for instance, I went to this group, my mum took me, and I think I was about 8, and it was when I was first diagnosed, and a lot of it was older people, but it was quite nice to talk to older people about how they dealt with it and how I could maybe deal with it. And then my mum came across like Deaf Action, and then I met other people who had like my condition, and also because I've got mild hearing loss, I could meet other people that was like me and going through the same thing. So I think it's quite important that you meet new friends with it and you try and get help.